Hey, and welcome to the show. Um, Today's topic is another one of those interesting ones, um, but we usually end up with a pretty good conversation. Today, I want to talk about um, our elderly grandparents, great grandparents, whatever, and coming to terms with their aging and sometimes with their passing. Um, if you haven't had to face this, and I've been lucky most of my life, I haven't had to face this very much. Um, it's something that you think you put it off. It's just something I haven't had to deal with. I'll deal with it when it happens. Why would I want to think about that until I absolutely have to? It's understandable. Then when it happens to you, it hits you in a different way, especially if you find yourself in a position of a caretaker, which can come as a shock if you've never caretaken before. Of course, I'm alluding to some of my own personal experiences. Um, my parents are quite elderly, and the only couple of their circle of friends and family who are still alive and together. In fact, they're probably you could count on one hand the number of people from their respective high school classes who are still alive. So they've lived a long time. But that being said, they're facing the inevitable challenges of old age. To me, I mean, my dad's biggest challenge, and you never know what the challenge is going to be. He had unhidden but massive problems with his blocked arteries. We didn't know that. And he had triple bypass surgery when he was just about ready to turn 90. And he recovered fully. Um, that was pretty good. But even despite that, he has been suffering from something called sarcopenia, which is not something you hear about. But what it really is, most people know it as, is just old age muscle weakness when people lose their strength, lose their ability to walk ultimately. And that's my dad's challenge. He's losing his ability to walk. Therefore, he's losing his mobility. And I've always known, ever since I watched my grandfather die when he lost his mobility, that as soon as my dad fully lost his mobility, he would choose to die. So I faced that. And in both of them, maybe a little more in my mom, but in both, I've watched cognitive decline, which is even more frustrating. I mean, talking to someone and they don't remember what you just said, it's not only frustrating, it can be very frustrating when they ask you 10 times the same question and you try to be patient, but you lose them. You lose your contact with them, your connection with them. So, dealing with elderly family loved ones who are in decline is kind of shocking at first if they haven't been ill like my parents haven't. Depressing, and I've noticed it's made me feel old. um, I find myself bending over and walking like an old man and doing things that really aren't me. um, there's also a strong feeling of helplessness in the face of this stuff. You don't have the ability to do much. I reach out and try to grab for anything, um, anything that might improve their condition. And medicine tends to be old fashioned and I think slow and a bit backwards at times, unless you've got really high end people. And they can be resisting. Um, so sometimes it feels like they almost get in the way. And of course, I haven't even spoken about death because that's what's coming. And some of us have had to deal with the loss of loved ones, close loved ones, and um, the shock, if it is a shock, and the emptiness. I lost my sister last year, and that was a shock. Um, my uncle, who was not a young man, but he was much younger than my mother, and had always been in good shape, good health, great personality, very vigorous man, just died. Um, and that really hurt my mom. It's hard to watch your loved ones watch their loved ones die. That's also an interesting experience. Then they start becoming paranoid and call you every day. Are you okay? Are you sick? Because they're scared of losing everyone. Even my kids have sometimes, worried. You're not going to die, are you? And I'm like, where's that coming from? There's a sense of insecurity, of fear. They have no control over it. Anyway, there's not much that anyone can do about this. It's just a reality of life, of existence. Um, some people have faced it for years and years, have lived lifetimes with diseases, never knowing when they might be taken. Others, like me, have lived a blessed life with almost no health problems. And um, so it's a shock when you're not, going to live forever all of a sudden. And it it impacts you. So anyway, I just wanted to talk about it. I don't have any answers. I don't have any conclusions, no messages, no great wisdom. It's just something I wanted to talk about because it's something we all have to live with eventually. And if you love, you will lose. You will hurt. That's the risk of loving. And hopefully the love was worth it. And I think that's all I have for today. So thanks for coming. Have a great day.